these places we go to, 52 different countries, you could say, and the only thing they've got in common with each other is they all listen to like mostly shit music, you know, and that's what we're doing, is we're here to alleviate that, you know, get people dancing. Help me remember what Left Alone used to be like.
Here we are down on the Portobello Road in North Kensington, just down the road from Notting Hill. This is the site of the famous Portobello Market. I'm absolutely delighted actually, because Portobello Radio, who broadcast from here on a weekend, have asked me to pop down and tell them all about what we're up to for World Creativity and Innovation Week and Day. And I'm going to see if we can't get some of the local characters, the artists, the cultural heroes of this area to join us maybe next week for World Creativity and Innovation Day, Wednesday 21st. So get themselves set up and we'll see you. We're going to be live on air in I think about 5-10 minutes, is it? Yep, 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, cool. See you then.
Portobello Radio.
Radio.
Portobello Radio.
Ladbroke Road's finest.
We hope so. Radio. What the hell is radio? Well, we hope to let you know over the next couple of hours. I'm here with Isis Amlak.
Greetings.
And Greg Weir.
Hey.
So who knows?
Featuring Hamza, and I have to say Hamza's amazing. Her voice is incredible. So hopefully I'll play some more tracks by her.
Anyway, moving swiftly on, the golden years are with us. We've unlocked. We're in lock out or lock up or whatever it is.
Lock in.
We're in lock in.
Lock over.
And Wednesday is UN's World Creativity Day. And we are, every time creativity comes into conversation, the first thought is Nick Corsten and Steamco, collaborator of many of us, even around the table. We did the Nick. Hello,
Nick.
Piers. Hello, Isis. Hello, Greg. Lovely to be back in the hood.
Yeah, back in the hood. And we, of course, did the carnival thing together. You did the North Kent Library thing.
And I was at your Malumba's Black Queen event. So,
well, you came and shared that, didn't you?
Yeah,
Isis?
so, and you've done the Afrocentric stuff, so you kind of, one of us, really.
Yeah.
Can't keep up.
Yeah.
Nick Corsten, one of us. One of us. Nick, what are you doing? You're surely doing something for UN's World Creativity Week.
Well, I'm trying to keep a straight face, but I've actually been asked if I'd be the UK country champion for the United Nations. Greg, please.
It's a good thing you got a mask on, because
you can't see this.
We're all wearing masks because no one would be able to keep a straight face.
They do know me, and I think they must have hacked into Portobello Radio's archives and realised the stuff we've done together. Like you say, green screening Carnival. We had the only float at Carnival, didn't we?
That's right. Carnival live stream, Westway 50th, Malumba's Black Queen, our library saved.
So you can't. So we had to thought, how do we beat that? And basically, what we're doing is we're going to build a cardboard cathedral, half size, nothing too grand, half-size cathedral from cardboard boxes in a school playing field in a school down in Dorset on Monday.
Oh, nice!
And we're going to live stream from there all day. I don't know if you heard about this thing that the government want our kids to catch up. Apparently, they've missed a lot of education, a lot of schooling. What are your thoughts about that, Isis?
When we were teaching them,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard some parents say it was just too much and just too cruel to expect them to homeschool.
I think a lot of parents also realised how much of a good job and a great job a lot of our teachers and school leaders do. And they realised, I think as a result, we've now got a lot of mutual respect in the system. So what we're saying, though, it's not just about getting kids to sit still in rows and learn their times tables and their literacy and numeracy. It's how do we inspire these kids? How do we inspire these kids to learn? And we're launching a thing called #InspiredToLearn21 with a school in Dorset where I first came across him on Twitter. He had built a massive igloo in the school hall, put a train going around it on tracks that the kids could ride on. Father Christmas and all this came in, and that was just Christmas. And I thought, I need to know this head teacher, Gary Spracklin, his name is. And everything he does in that school is about the kids being inspired to learn. So how can we do exciting things? So we did a live stream art session with him. What did he do? Live stream a rhino farm in Wales that the kids drew, like you do. Yeah, it's just incredible. And I thought, well, we can't have 35,000 Gary Spracklins or 35,000 me's in our schools. So how do we take him and this inspiration to inspire schools across the country? Some great schools around here. I've worked with the schools down in Cambridge Gardens and locally in Paddington. So we're going to live stream that all day, but then go on a 3-month tour of Britain, doing these live streams in school communities. But back to your point, Piers, Wednesday, World Creativity and Innovation Day. And I want to put a shout out right here, right now on Portobello. If there's anybody in the community who wants to showcase their creativity, their culture, let's face it, North Ken, Portobello Road, Notting Hill is a cultural hotspot for the world. Let's show the richness of this area and put it online. And okay, I'm local, or fairly local, Noha, north of the Harrow Road.
Yep.
You've probably heard of it.
As you keep saying, whenever you're on LBC, you keep saying, I'm just a dad from Maida Vale.
You've heard me rocking LBC, have you? So basically, what we're trying to do is we're just trying to show what one dad and collaborations with people at Portobello Radio, all the collaborations we've had. If we can do this in our community, what's to stop people doing it in their communities across the country? The local radio, the internet telly, the making, the doing. Next year, the government's got a national festival of creativity, and I'm on a mission to raise a couple of million quid to put 22 people like me on the road with a car and a trailer to just go out there and run pop-ups like we did at Carnival, like we did for Westway, like we did for the library. That was a brilliant project our library saved. So that's it. If anybody wants to get in touch, www, all the W's, as Norman Jay used to say. Yeah. Or, I was going to say on Pirate, but I don't think he invented the internet when he was on 94 FM. All the W's, steamco.org.uk/WCIW21. I had to think about that, didn't I? World Creativity and Innovation Week 21.
Surely, if you go to the homepage,
it's all on there, isn't it? Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah. So that's the deal.
Give us that again.
So just go to steamco.org.uk. Does that work? We don't even need all the W's anymore, Norman, do we?
No, you can just Google it. Our friend Google.
So, Nick, before you go, tell us, I mean, you're just a dad from over in Maida Vale who got involved in his kids.
Maida Hill, please, darling.
Maida Hill, where the domino, where they played dominoes too loud, they knocked down the pubs. Those are other stories that you couldn't follow on previous
and the elder people's homes too.
That's right.
Maida Hills feels like it's a global epicenter of community activism, doesn't it? Really, you've got, as you say, you've got the guys.
Got Jackie Haynes.
Well, there you go. I mean, with the pub that just got knocked down and was rebuilt brick by brick by the developers. Like you say, the guys there have been for years playing dominoes in pubs. The pubs have been gentrified, so now they're playing dominoes in the street, but obviously too loudly, so they're getting £100 fines. You know, we've got to stand up for our communities. You know, we've all just got to
these are elder guys as well. It's not even, I mean, these are people in their 70s and stuff, for God's sake.
But what I wanted to get onto is that you've taken the spirit of North Ken, of Harrow Road, of Maida Hill, and you've literally driven it around the country. You've driven to Dorset. You've driven to Leeds. You formed a fantastic relationship with a kid from, was it Sunderland?
That's Leeds. That was a Leeds boy, that one, yeah.
It was a Leeds boy. And you went to Coventry Cathedral and did kind of Nativity 5 with a load of kids in there setting rockets off. You're on a mission to help people appreciate art, because art is what connects us, if I'm right in saying.
That's exactly right. I see art as being what we call it when what we do connects us to somebody else. So somebody's art could be painting, another's photography, cooking, coding, robots, rockets, dancing, DJing, design, whatever. There has never been a greater need to help our kids find their art, something they can make some money with, make some friends with, make the world a better place with. You DJing, I know you've made a couple of quid, I know you've made a few friends, and I know you've made the world a better place with your turntablism, Piers. And that's what it's about. So we're trying to connect our kids with their art and our communities with their schools. And nothing without you guys. Thanks so much for the opportunity to spread the love, spread the vibes. You know.
And let's add a quote by the late great Claudia Jones: "A people's art is the genesis of their freedom." Let's not forget that.
I'll take that, Isis. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. So that is steamco.org.uk. I got it right? Yeah!
We're all born artists. The problem is to remain an artist as we grow up. That was Pablo Picasso. And I think we've got to help our kids, all our kids, aim high in life. Not just high, but higher than high. We've got to help our kids find their passion, their art. So I'm Nick Corsten. I'm just a dad. I'm co-founder of STEAMco. One day maybe I'll be the CEO, I don't know. So STEAMco is a non-profit community enterprise that helps connect our kids with their art and our communities with their schools by running creativity days. And we want to get the whole community involved. We want people who've had kids, not had kids, got kids, whatever, to come and work with us to help us run these days.
It's magic! It's magical!
What inspired me? Well, I saw a talk by Sir Ken Robinson. I read half a book called What's the Point of School? On what we should be teaching our kids. And I went to Camp Esther, which is really a Glastonbury for kids. And I thought, I want this in my kids' school. I've got a lovely little film my dad gave me of me when I was 1 and him with my first ever train set. And I show that to kids in schools all over the country. And how my dad gave me the greatest gift. He gave me my art. Because art is what we call it when what we do might connect us to somebody else. So art could be painting, it could be photography, it could be cooking, it could be coding, it could be dancing, it could be design, it could be DJing, it could be robots, it could be rockets. The fun, the excitement that we have making and firing rockets in schools is to be seen, to be believed.
This is the best day of my life.
This truck contains everything you need to run a creativity festival in a primary school. 30 coding kits with the BBC Microbit. We've got rocket making kits. We do cardboard challenge. We can do the egg drop. We've got a t-shirt printing machine so we can print I Love Art t-shirts. So the kids design their own logo, take a selfie. We've had thousands of posters of those done. That's with JR, French street artist JR. So we've got communities all over the country designing I Love Art logos, taking photos, and we sent them off to JR, and he's printed 1,000 of these off for us, which we're fly posting all over the country. So in lockdown, we got an Arts Council grant and we built a green screen TV studio. We've been live streaming events all summer. We did a 3-day Glastonbury event where we built a half-sized pyramid stage from cardboard and code and ran 3-day events. We had Martin and Gary Kemp. We had Glenn Matlock from the Sex Pistols on stage alongside community artists, dads and their kids. And we had a young lad from Leeds called Lenny who played his piano on stage, all virtual. And that's what we want to do. Lockdown's not going to lift in a hurry. And we're running festivals from a spare bedroom here in Paddington. But we need people involved. We want people to collaborate for creativity.
I think they're doing fantastic work at STEAMco.
For me, collaboration is everything.
Elton John gave me the greatest gift. Actually, he made a film, I don't know if you saw it, with John Lewis, where basically he tells the story of how he was given a piano as a kid and worked hard and made literally $1 million. I saw that film, ripped it off, put our own subtitles on it, and Elton John retweeted it. It had 50,000 views in an hour, and I went on a 2-week UK tour from Cornwall all the way to Carlisle, showing that film, showing my train set film, talking to kids about art and creativity, letting off rockets, and inspiring schools across the country in our 12 days of Creative Christmas tour.
You've inspired one little boy in particular, a very quiet boy, and as that rocket shot into the air, we heard the words blast off come out of his mouth.
Innovation, technology, and dreams rocketing up to the sky.
The state education system, we have a lot of people feel it's been narrowed and narrowed and narrowed, focusing on teaching and testing of highly academic subjects, which are important, which are right for some kids, but it's not for everybody. And some kids come out of the education system literally broken. 9 out of 10 schools in Britain have reported cutting the arts in some way or another, which is a real tragedy. And we're going to lose that cutting edge creativity that made Britain so famous. Creativity is Great Britain after all. The ideal future for me would be a whole load of these trucks on the road with passionate, enthusiastic, committed, creative people, helping connect kids with their art and communities with their schools all the way across the UK. As Albert Einstein said, imagination can take us anywhere.
to have steamed cold day in my class.
That cut off a bit abruptly, didn't it? Not to worry, not to worry. Here I am in the green screen room, and I'm just going to make a couple of settings. I'm just going to show you the magic of what we've got going on here. So I can go to my color key, I can pick the green, I can take the green out, and that's me suddenly greened out. I have to put my glasses on at my age. You need your glasses to be able to see the screen. And then I say, right, okay, well, I want to put myself on this stage set here. So I'm going to cut to that stage set there, but I want myself in the corner. So I'm going to patch myself in here. Oh, that's going to start playing again, is it? Let's get rid of that then. Let's get rid of that. Okay, I'll stop that playing. And if I do, I'll tell you what, we're late at night here in England, in the UK, but it's a 9 o'clock in East Coast of America, 6 o'clock on the West Coast, wherever it is in Australia. I haven't got a clue. I can't keep up with this global world creativity and innovation timetable thing. So so what we're going to do, we're going to pretend everybody's in bed, so it doesn't matter who's here. I think we might have one or two people here. I don't know if anybody's still out there. Let's have a look, see if we've got any messages. Yeah, there's a few people there. So I'm just going to pop myself on that stage, because at the moment I'm here and I need to be over there. So I'm just going to go in and reconfigure this, because we didn't set it up a minute ago, because something changed, and it doesn't really matter, does it? We don't really care about these things. And suddenly I'm there, see? So suddenly I'm look a little bit high, don't I? I need to drop myself down a bit. So I'll just configure that again. Obviously it's the sort of stuff you'd know. I wasn't going to come on, actually. I thought, do you know what? It'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? It would be rude not to. So let's reposition myself there. So here we are on a massive cardboard pyramid stage that we literally have built from cardboard on the school playing field. In fact, I think, can we cut to that? Can we cut to a wider shot, do you think, folks? Can we cut to a shot? There we go. Look, so there I am on a cardboard pyramid stage. You can see me waving down the bottom there. In fact, I don't know if we can zoom in. Can we zoom in a little bit closer? Is that an option? So we're zooming in now. So you can see me, I'm down here on this stage. And this is basically going to be the setting for our whole week. The World Creativity and Innovation Week kicked off yesterday. We had a little conflab here. We had some Zooms callers in. So we can basically get people in on Zoom at any time, so that they can press a button there, look, and that all animates across. That doesn't really work, does it? I think we're better off with cuts, aren't we? Cut. I think that's a bit better. So we'll cut backwards and forwards for that one. So last night we had a bit of a chat, a little bit of brainstorming. The idea is that people can come in on Zoom. We want this to be really engaging and really interactive. And we're just mucking about the first 2 or 3 days, getting up to speed. We're working out, we're getting the speakers lined up. We're co-creating the whole week during the week. The big focus is next Wednesday. That's World Creativity and Innovation Day. So basically the vibe is Monday we're going to be going down to a school in Dorset, Prince of Wales School, most creative school I've come across probably ever in this country. Just fantastic. Head teacher there, Gary Sprackland, just amazing. So we're doing a whole day there. We're doing a live stream to that community in the morning. We're then doing another live stream in the afternoon. The kids are going to do coding, they're going to do designing, they're going to make rockets, they're going to do inventing. So 4 activities across the day. Then we're going to launch, literally, yes, we're going to launch the tower of that you can see above me here, the Tower of Coventry Cathedral. Now, if you're tuning in from across the world, you haven't heard of Coventry. Coventry is one of probably the top 20 cities in the UK. It was bombed heavily during the war. And if you look carefully there, you'll see an old cathedral on the left with the tower. Now, that was bombed to pieces, just a shell standing. And after the war, they built the piece on the right. I don't know if we can zoom in on that a little bit. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. Hang on a second. Let's adjust the sort of settings and we can zoom in. So that's the modern bit. That's the modern bit there. So we zoom in on that modern bit. So the modern bit is the bit on the right, and the older part is the part on the left. And we're going to launch that tower Monday afternoon, obviously using some special effects, because it's not real, is it? I mean, we did actually have a few people think it was real. So we're going to launch that tower on Monday afternoon, and then Tuesday I think we're going to Scotland. Wednesday we're doing Wales, because Wales has got a new curriculum. The whole of the country of Wales has had a whole new curriculum. It's built from the ground up, totally built from scratch. The Professor Mick Waters, who helped create that, said it's one of the best education systems he's seen anywhere in the world, because most places in the world, they bolt a bit on here, they bolt a bit on there, they have a drop down Monday and do a bit of creativity, but they've gone from scratch. It's incredible. We tried to get the education minister from Wales on, but they're in Purda because we've got elections in about 3 weeks. And so the ministers aren't allowed to speak publicly, because that kind of is propaganda and unfair competitive advantage. Well, given we've got social media hammering us all the time, I think that's a fairly antiquated rule, that one. So that's Wednesday. Thursday, I think we're in Northern Ireland. Friday, we're going to be back in Coventry, which is where, as I say, where the cathedral is at the moment. So that's the general vibe of what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing talks, performances, workshops. Got some amazing speakers lined up. We're putting it all together. We're going to be announcing early next week for the Wednesday. So Wednesday is our big focus. And really what we've just been doing today is just sharing a chat we had with Portobello Radio. So you can rewind and watch that if you've missed that. So this is all going to go on live on YouTube, on Facebook and Twitter. So you can go back and watch it again. So yeah, and I think what I'd like to do, actually, I'm just going to play a very, very short film. I'm sure I can find that film, actually. I'm just going to have to do a little bit of clicking and juggling around, if you'll bear with me a second, because this is a very special film. It's actually a bit of a rip-off from Netflix. I don't know where you are in the world, but I can't imagine you haven't got Netflix, and I hope I don't get into too much trouble for this, but it's, in fact, you know what? I don't care. It's very, very special, and we are going to share it because of that, because we're going to go dark today. We're not going to do anything else today. This is our contribution to what is going to be a very, very special day, a very solemn day here in the UK. And yeah, I mean, one can't understate that. Whatever one's feelings, you know, it's a sad day, and we just have to accept that. And I'm trying to find where that's going to go in here. That's interesting. Will it go in that one, do you think? I'm having to configure this on.
I'll tell you what I think. I've never heard such a load of pretension.
That's not a very good look, is it? So let's get that back to the start, because this is a clip from The Crown, which you'll know was on Netflix, an absolutely fantastic series. I must admit, I haven't watched an awful lot of TV in lockdown. I've just been too busy doing all this sort of stuff. But I did manage to, I actually started rowing my way. I got my rowing machine out because I realized that I was getting a bit out of shape from just sitting at a computer for a year and not going out or doing anything. And started watching The Crown, and I was really quite taken by it, actually. I thought it was a fantastic piece of social commentary. It was a TV program I don't think the BBC could have made, certainly couldn't now, with the sensitivities in the country politically at the moment. And this clip really sort of summed it up for me. It's Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, in Windsor Castle with a group of members of the clergy who, I believe this is the start, the early days of an organisation called Windsor House, or House of Windsor, which was a forum for people who want to change the world and make it a better place and cut through the rubbish, the political left, right, wrong, black, white, whatever, and just get stuff done. Other scenes in The Crown featuring Prince Philip showed how he was enraptured by the Apollo spacemen. He really was very, very taken by them. And in this scene, he talks to the vicars and the clergymen, and I think it's really very, very special. I hope you enjoy it. Whatever your thoughts are about royalty, royal families, colonialism, imperialism, whatever. A man died, he left a wife, he left some children, he left grandchildren, he left a country, he left a lot of people who respected a lot of what he said, a little bit of what he said. But anybody who says and does what he says and does in this film, for me, is worth remembering and worth showing a little bit of respect for, because there aren't enough people standing up for what they believe in at the moment and listening and collaborating. And I heard a fantastic quote on the radio the other day by a radio presenter called James O'Brien. And he said, maybe the litmus test for all our futures, the litmus test moving forward is, in fact, to ask ourselves what Prince Philip would say in a certain situation. So let's play that film now and have a day of remembrance tomorrow for people we've lost and people we respect and people who really are making a difference. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. No, we won't. We'll see you Sunday. Probably building a cardboard cathedral in a school playing field down in Dorset. Thanks for joining me. Good night.
I'll tell you what I think. I've never heard such a load of pretentious, self-piteous nonsense. And what you lot need to do is to get off your backsides, get out into the world, and bloody well do something. I believe that there is an imperative within man, all men, to make a mark. Action is what defines us. Action, not suffering. All this sitting around, thinking and talking. Let me ask you this. You think those astronauts up there are catatonic like you lot? Of course not. They are too busy achieving something spectacular. And as a result, they are at one with the world. They're one with their God. And happy. That's my advice. Model yourselves on men of action, like Armstrong, Aldrin, Collins. I mean, these men score A++. They've got the answers. I'll tell you what I think. I've never heard such a load of pretentious, self-piteous nonsense.